You've never seen a podcast this good for this long. What more can you say?
Ooh, yeah. So here's a little bit of a PSA. Stu meant to say, what more can we say? That's the name of the podcast, not what more can you say? Because obviously then that would just mean it's just me, just him. It's not that. It's a collective. You know what I mean? So yeah, what more can we say is the podcast. Keep that in mind. Sorry for some of the mess ups in this episode, but we'll get that fixed in the future. And enjoy the show.
The podcast where we tackle the latest headlines in culture and lifestyle. I go by the name of Radio God Stu.
It's your boy Jalen Brown. And hold on, man. Let me start.
Start off the right way.
Yeah, come on now. Double what you talking about? Let's go.
This is episode number 1 of the podcast where we talk to the culture and the culture talks back.
For sure. Stand on that for sure. So let's get ready to get into it, bro. Let's just jump straight in this.
You already know what it is, man. All right, so there's a picture that's been going viral around the internet, all over social media and stuff. And it's actually of Young Thug and his blended family, along with his girlfriend, Mariah the Scientist, his baby mom, and his son, Jameer, who graduated from high school. So everybody sees the picture and they're like, yo, this is why Mariah Scientist is Young Thug's daddy's baby. Because she's able to be cool.
Crazy. That video was nuts. Yeah.
She's able to be cool and be in a setting with the family, of his young son that graduated high school. And there's no conflict. There's no, it doesn't look like there's any beef or, any hard feelings amongst anyone in the picture. And I think that's a beautiful thing, especially for Thug with everything that he's gone through, to have everyone be able to support him and the son in a cool way. I think that was real dope.
I want to talk about that real quick. Hold on a second.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that Thug is having such a difficult time right now getting traction back? And let me kind of clarify, right? Mm-hmm. So I look at somebody like Bobby Shmurda, bro.
Right.
When he went in, he didn't, to me, have nearly as much traction. Now, granted, his records were going, but he didn't have nearly as much traction as a Thug. And then you turn around and you look, and now that Thug's got now, bro, like all the street code and this, that, and the third that I feel like everybody was standing on, it's like, it's cool for him to be back outside as opposed to a gunner. He can still be around people, but the traction is not nearly where I thought it would be initially.
Music-wise, I don't think it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's dropped anything that has been able to resonate with the fans pre-Thug going to jail and standing trial. I also think that the trial has affected his ability to be creative in a way that, he can transform himself so the fans can identify with whoever the new Young Thug is going to be.
The only reason I give pushback on that, though, with the whole creative thing that you're saying is because me and you was watching the video earlier, like the, what's it called, Money on Money?
Right.
They're doing the whole Otis treatment. Future is scorching hot right now. Like, he's been on fire for the last year or so, like really, really on fire. So I'm not really understanding what the disconnect between the two of them is.
The persona, he had a larger-than-life persona in the streets, and that has been eradicated due to his probation, stipulation with this case, because he can't be around certain things. He can't be around certain people. So now it's like, we already know that you're not near affiliated or doing any of the things that you were prior to. You know what I'm saying? You can't be around all the YNs that you had around you. You know what I'm saying?
I kind of hear that, bro. But at the same time, like, look at Gunna, right?
Right.
Gunna went in. Everybody swore to God that as soon as he came back out, it was going to be fried for him. And it was silent for maybe like, I don't know, what would you say, like a month or two, 3 months. And then as soon as he even started getting back his own solo traction, bro, Offset jumps out and starts doing records with him. The Wiz record right now is moving. I've been seeing him do even, I think he had like an Afro Beats record or something like that. So he's been still getting himself back into the culture. Now, the one thing I will say, I guess, is the difference between them, and to your point, is Thug can still move around and find a way to, I feel like, network and still maybe get that traction with another artist or something like that could really kind of boost him up. I feel like the biggest thing right now is probably going to have to be him having a standout project. Like, think about when he first came out. He had the singles and joints, and that's cool, but to me, what really started separating him and making him really like one of the legends in this is you get records like Beautiful Thugger Girls, Jeffrey, Barter Six. Think about the what's it called? The Chris Brown record, Slime and B, Slime Season with Future. So he was really building, to me, a serious catalog, and that's what separated him from some of these other dudes who he was kind of in the class with. Was you started seeing a difference, like, oh damn, hold on, he could actually make a project. It's one thing, not anybody, but you see the age we in today, bro. Like people dropping records, you don't even know what they look like. As opposed to him, it felt like he was dropping the hot records and having the catalog and the full bodies of work to back it up.
Yeah, that's because his persona resonated with everyone. He had a whole movement behind him, and his fan base was almost like a cult fan base. You know what I'm saying? The people that were supporting him as opposed to just supporting a record.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he created a movement. You know, he had the whole YSL with Lil Keed and Gunna.
Rest in peace, Keed, by the way.
You know what I'm
Rest in
saying?
peace, Keed on God. Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? So like he was setting himself up as the big homie, as the OG.
Yeah.
Now you're separated from all of that. All that has been removed from you. Now you're just stuck in your mansion in LA or wherever you at with your girl. You know what I'm saying? And you can't really, entrench yourself in the streets and know what's going on in the streets, because guess what? If you do that, now you're risking getting locked back up again and having to do the whole sentence of what you pleaded out of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, bro, when I was riding up here, I was driving and I was literally thinking about this on the way up when I was trying to come up here. And the first record that I started playing was Sacrifices, the one with him, Drake and Chains. That kind of bop to me might be a little bit more of something that might be able to kind of help propel him back to where he is. Because to your point, if he can't be around those same people, I get all that. That is what it is. But I'm thinking more so what's going to resonate sonically, because I think the music is cool, but I think if he maybe tries something a little bit different, not like I saw some goofy tweet one time talking about Thug should try to do a album with The Alchemist. Hell no. Stop that. Cut that shit out. But I do think, though, that similar bop, though, and him showing that, he has different lanes to him besides just, street is going to be beneficial to him for having a long-term career and really getting back to where he was. Because I think content aside, and I'm the green guy, man. Look, I'm green as hell. Don't even worry about it. I'm green. I get it. But outside of that, bro, I could even resonate with Thug. Like, I was feeling everything he was doing. And so I'm trying to kind of get an idea of what it is that will maybe propel him. Like, does he need to do a different look somewhere? Does he need to be in different spaces, different publications, different features? What is it that will kind of help him do something in those areas?
He just has to diversify from what he was doing previously. Yeah. That still resonates with the people that, are his day one fans. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he need to go to the Met Gala.
No, shit.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he needs Pharrell to design him something and he wear it to the Met Gala, be in that room. You know what I'm saying?
As long as he got all the umbrellas, because Doechii was tweaking on shit over that.
Hey, she got a lot of backlash.
No. I'm glad we're there. All right, let's talk about Doechii real quick, because that's another thing that we had on the docket here. All right, what is the issue with Doechii right now? And let me explain. Mm-hmm. When I first got introduced to her, I heard her from that Boom Bap record, and then I also heard her from the Nissan Ultima joint.
Right.
I thought those were crazy, especially because the Nissan Ultima joint was a reference to an old Kendrick video that he had tried to do like 3 years ago, I believe it was. And it was, I think, when he was trying to preview All Right or King Kunta, one of those ones where he was doing a preview at the beginning. But anyways, she, to me, actually has talent, yet and still, I keep seeing this whole sweeping shit about her being hated on or people not really rocking with her. I have no idea why.
I mean, from my perspective of it, I definitely think she's talented. I think she's dope. But when you're signed to one of the biggest labels in music right now, it's almost like a cheat code. So it's like you're being planted, and it's like an industry. It's the industry plant conspiracy.
Tell me you're not saying
right
this
now.
Shit too,
I'm not
bro.
saying. I'm just saying
Please.
that's what the conspiracies are. Is that she may just be an industry plant right now.
I don't understand that angle though, bro. Because to me, TDE has always put stars out. From Kendrick to J-Rock even has his own wave. Schoolboy has his own wave. Doechii doing her thing now. Isaiah Rashad has his own wave. Like
SZA.
SZA's a super duper megastar. So it's not to me like TDE has never done this before and that she's just coming completely out of the blue, which is why I don't understand why people have such a visceral reaction to her, bro. Like, it's one thing to me to not like somebody. It's another thing to go out of your way to talk about how much you don't like them. And that to me is where I feel like she's being done unfair, because in my humble opinion, bro, none of you that's sitting here talking about Doechii have listened to her project. Cut it out. Please stop now. I can ask somebody on the street, bro, who sat there and had these super, articulate and well thought out opinions about how bad she is. You ask them to name 2-3 records off the album, they don't know. And it's not even about that, but it's like, I don't know what she's doing. And it's not just the industry plant, because we've seen those before too. Ice Spice, to me, is in that same vein. We've heard all her reference tracks. She jumped out the blue, but she didn't get nearly the same level of hatred or even the same level of critique as a Doechii does. And their artistry to me is way different. Doechii to me as an artist is way up here in comparison to some of the other people who she's been mentioned in the class with as far as being an industry plant.
I'm gonna put it out plain and simple. It has to do with the level of attractiveness.
What do you think she's hit?
I don't think she's hit, but I think that her aesthetic and her look, it may not necessarily correlate with what people may be looking for in the marketplace. And you know what I'm saying? It's almost kind of like with Doechii, it's like she's one of those people where they love you, they hate you, then they love you again.
Yeah.
I think that's what she's really going to experience because they're going to have to appreciate her for her artistic approach as opposed to the aesthetic and the look and the image of it.
Yeah. I mean, and I can understand that. To me, I think a big thing is going to be her second project. So a lot of people, like I said, who have these opinions, I don't feel like have listened to her project, but I think for her, it's going to be incumbent upon her and TDE to really make sure that they lock in on this next project and try to deliver something that can fit what everybody is looking for.
And also, not for nothing, the backlash that she got at the Met Gala for the umbrella shit, that don't help either.
That was okay. Now let's talk about that real quick though, because I thought that was a little over the top in my opinion, bro. Yeah. You've been behind the scenes some stuff. I'm pretty studied on the culture, and I've seen some stuff as well, bro. That's not the first time an artist has ever said something crazy to their staff. Nor was that the craziest thing that we've heard from their staff,
right?
By any means.
But at the same time, it's like you kind of got to like earn that privilege in the eye of the public to be able to call out your staff and say certain things to your staff once you reach a level of success.
But when are you going to get that leeway? But when are you going to get that leeway if they don't ever like you?
Nigga, Kim Kardashian could do that shit. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, she can.
Kim can yell at her staff all day and gonna be like, them niggas need to get that shit together. Nicki Minaj can yell at her whole entire staff, curse them niggas the fuck out, and they're gonna be like, even if the staff did everything right, they're gonna be like, y'all need to get Nicki right because nigga, that's Nicki Minaj, and she's earned the right to, if she feels like something isn't being done the way that it should be done to the level of her expectation, then y'all niggas is up.
But we're talking about umbrellas. Like these, like
it was raining.
I just didn't think. Well, first off, and because I started looking at some of the stuff from the Met Gala, I thought the look was cool. I thought it was semi-innovative, I guess, but it wasn't something that was so crazy to garner her to be doing that. So I think that's kind of a little bit of it too, is where people are projecting and feel like, you know, maybe if she had some wild ass long train that was going halfway down the red carpet when she walking up the steps, people would maybe think that garners a little bit more of that energy. I think people didn't really love the look like that, so that feels like some of the reasons why she kind of got a little bit of that backlash too. Like I feel like if she was really doing a big look, you know what I'm saying, it's really going up. She's kind of doing a medium look, so it's just,
but I mean, but you gotta give her respect because it was a one-on-one piece. Pharrell, you know what I'm saying, commissioned that piece from Louis Vuitton for
sure.
So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, shit, this is a big deal for me, especially where I'm coming from. Nigga, where I'm from in Miami, let me pull up to the Met Gala. I don't give a what I'm wearing. Nigga. This that shit. Nigga, I got that shit on. Yeah, it's like a Halloween costume party for
secret
celebrities.
Society shit. Nigga, listen, the shit that blow me with the Met Gala to me is you look at people doing all these crazy ass looks and the themes be like all over the place, and then you hear nothing about the actual event.
Nah.
That's insane.
Nigga, I don't know who DJ'd this. Did they have a DJ? Hey, nigga, who was hosting this shit?
See niggas just huddled up in a bathroom and shit, but I don't ever see anybody.
Yeah, you just see camera pictures from the bathroom, nigga. That's it.
No, it was a big deal when, what's her name? I saw Meg Thee Stallion was actually putting something up recently. She put hella videos up of her inside, and I mean, you would know that she was inside because every other time that the video started, she was saying, "Oh my God, y'all, I'm not supposed to be on this, but check me out and see." So I see this a big deal, and that's something. I
mean, from the guest list, you know what I'm saying? It's a wide range of people. Like, you got people from all walks of life, entertainment, you know, politics. It's like people from everywhere.
Would you ever want to go to some shit like that?
Hell yeah, put me in there.
Nigga, stop.
Hell yeah.
Nigga, stop. I can't, because here's me. You ain't about to have me on some dumbass theme talking about trees and fairies, and I got my toes out, armpit hair all kind of crazy, and all type of mo shit. I can't do all that, bro.
I'm gonna wear my Flintstone outfit. Fuck it, nigga.
Nigga start tiptoeing into the joint.
But that's where you go. Look, honestly, that's where you go. You know what I'm saying? When you're in that realm, when you're in industry like that, that's where you got to go in order to, you know what I'm saying, get your next deal. You know what I'm saying? Your next deal, maybe walking around in that somewhere, nigga. And it's just a conversation of you being in that room that gets you to where you trying to be.
Yeah, no, the whole thing is a pivot, bro. Like even, and I kind of do want to spin back because I feel like we got kind of sidetracked for a second talking about the Met Gala. Don't really give a fuck. Doechii though, right? The outside of the Met Gala, bro, and kind of where she is to me as an artist, I feel like she's taking the same steps that we saw, to your point about TDE, that Kendrick took. For example, bro, this Timeless remix came out with The Weeknd, and you would have swore that she had made just some anti-hate anthem that just nobody had any parts of, nobody wanted. And again, this whole visceral reaction to a simple remix. I was thinking about Kendrick. Do you remember when Kendrick did the when he did the Bad Blood remix?
Yeah.
Or when he did the Imagine Dragons joint and all that? To me, that don't get nearly the same amount of critique or acclaim. And granted, I do think around that time, people were kind of going in on him a little bit because they felt like bro was doing the industry moves and making some of those industry steps. But to me, this is just all a general part of becoming an artist. That's why I don't understand this whole industry plan thing, bro. You have to be in front of people in order to make an impact on them. And so I feel like she's doing everything necessary, from the projects to the songs to the videos. Her whole imagery is where it needs to be. So I just don't get it, bro. I'm not going to lie. I'm a big Doechii supporter. That's me. I love the album. I'm all on that. So I just don't, it makes zero sense to me.
Hey, man, we're going to support Doechii, man. One time for Doechii, the whole TDE, man.
Yeah, Doechii. Hold on. Yeah. Big Doechii. Nah, for sure. Look, I'm looking forward to whatever she drops next, bro. The Timeless remix to me didn't really move me, but like I said, when she drops that next project, it will be heat, guaranteed. If you haven't listened to Alligator Bites Never Heals, check that out now.
You know what I'm looking forward to, though?
What's up?
These NBA finals coming up.
Oh,
the NBA playoffs have been super, super exciting.
Yeah.
You know, from the first round, you know, with the Lakers and the Wolves, you know what I'm saying? You had that dynamic going on. You had the Cavs and the Celtics and Detroit and New York. That series was super dope, and it just carried on round per round. And I just think that the Eastern Conference Finals, shout out to my New York Knicks against the Indiana Pacers, you know what I'm saying? And the Western Conference, you're going to have OKC against Minnesota and Timberwolves. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to those two series because, you know what I'm saying, now we know that it's going to be a brand new champion.
That is
NBA
exciting.
This year, you know what I'm saying? And it's going to be a new face and somebody that hasn't won a championship yet going to be able to have that one.
I sat there yesterday and I was thinking, I'm like, the Knicks or the Pacers might be going to the NBA Finals.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you think that? I mean, not for nothing. I didn't think the Pacers would get this far.
Yeah, I didn't.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm not surprised.
Florida about the Knicks.
Nigga.
Florida about the Knicks. I'm gonna tell you why though. Look, I'm gonna tell you why. The nigga Tibbs be running everybody down to a nub. Knees be sawdust by this time. So I just had no idea that they would even have the stamina or the completion of a team, in my opinion, in order to get to this point. Particularly when you started seeing good on Mitchell Robinson kind of more routing in the form. But I remember towards the beginning of the shit, everybody kept telling me for the last year and a half, 2 years, oh man, just wait until Mitchell Robinson get back. We gonna be demons when Mitchell Robinson get back. And I'm like, damn, y'all talking about this like he primed Dwight Howard. He's not. He really isn't. He's
but
just a guy.
My man does his thing though. Like Mitch get out there and Mitch does what Mitch is supposed to do. He's a rim protector. He gonna crash the boards. He gonna get you some putbacks. You know what I'm saying? And he's gonna defend on the perimeter.
And
perimeter
he's not
shooter as
gonna
well.
hit a free throw.
He's not gonna hit no free throws.
That free throw is egregious.
Hacker Mitch is definitely an effect.
I've never understood how to be professional basketball players and can't shoot free throws.
Me neither.
It makes zero sense to me.
You've
been shooting your whole life. Now, granted, I know there's going to be somebody out there who says, when the last time you shot a free throw? And you're absolutely correct. But I don't get paid millions of dollars to do this. And I ain't been raised my whole life trying to end up being into the NBA. So, yes, stuff like that. I always hear Skip Bayless' voice in my head talking about, oh, they're free throws. You're supposed to make them. They're free. So every time when I'm looking at Mitchell Robinson, bro, bending over at the line, praying and all type of shit, I just don't understand how, you know.
It's like you eye level with the rim. Like, how hard could it be, dog?
It's the same thing when like that size don't be going out there and boarding up.
You're right.
Like, I can't tell you how many times I looked at this Brooke Lopez, 6'11", 7 foot for nothing. Can't go out there and give me 5 rebounds.
Nah, he ain't got no hops. He can't jump, nigga.
But you would assume that just being that big, bro, you could get a rebound. You could get at least, to me, if I'm 7 foot, nigga, I'm going out there and I'm getting at least 8 to 9 a game. That's a fact.
For sure.
That's a fact. So, but to generally preview, let's kind of start here from square one with the playoffs, okay? So we get Lakers Timberwolves, all right?
Right.
What do you think kind of is the future for the Lakers?
The future for the Lakers is gonna be whatever Luka could bring to the table. You know what I'm saying? Like that's Luka's team now. Like
Turkey legs,
it's not LeBron's.
beers,
And my got to get in
chips,
shape. He got to get in shape.
Skittles. That's what that bringing to the table. Napkins, cutlery, all type of shit. That to late, bro. I'm not you. Luka is talented, no doubt. I'm not bullshitting at all. However, the conditioning is a huge issue. This is a cone on defense. These are problems that have to be solved sometime between now and the beginning of the season because LeBron's not getting any younger, bro.
At all.
In my opinion, he has another 2 years. Now, I know people keep kind of hammering this shit about he may retire at the end of this season or he may retire next season. I'm not buying that he's going to swing all his weight to get Bronny in the league, still play at this level, and then a year before Bryce is able to get into the league, he's going to retire. Makes absolutely no sense to me. So I do think LeBron's going to play another 2 years. But even watching this playoffs, bro, he's not at the same caliber. He's still one of the best players in the league, no doubt, on any given night. But he's not a guy that at age 40, and no disrespect to him, but it's not realistic to expect him to still go up and get it at age 40 every single night. So you do need Luka to step up. Austin Reeves was horrible in that series. I mean, you know, you're talking about a guy who I think was averaging close to 20 points a game and then ends up going into the playoffs and he's averaging like something closer to like 16 or something like that. Couldn't shoot for shit, couldn't put up a three. And so you're looking at this Lakers team and it kind of feels like with this transitional period coming up, they're going to have to make a real concerted effort to put talented players around Luka. This ain't the Mavs.
Nah, they need depth. That's what they need. They don't have no bench. They don't have, you know what I'm saying, besides LeBron and Luka, they don't have anybody that can go get them a bucket. You know what I'm saying? Like Rui Hachimura.
You sleep on Reeves?
They cool. Reeves is cool, but like he's not him. You know what I'm saying? He's not him when Luka and LeBron ain't on. You know what I'm saying?
Believe that niggas at one point was talking about Austin Reeves versus Tyler Hero? Is who's the better player?
I mean, that's kind of a toss-up.
Nigga, stop.
That's kind of a toss-up. I mean,
Tyler Hero's
he's a good shooter.
Tyler Hero's the better player.
You just like Tyler Hero because he got a little crossover. He got a little black boy flavor to him. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like he's like off the charts better than Austin Reeves or Alex Caruso or a Pritchard. You know what I'm saying? Like all the white boys, they all just like in the same little vein for me, bro.
Oh, sorry, that was the wrong one. That nigga said Alex Caruso. Excuse me?
Yeah. He's still playing. He's still playing. So
off the bench, but Tyler Hero is a starter in this league. Tyler Hero is relied to be the offense for his league, especially when Bam Adebayo is out there playing footsies with Asia Wilson. So there ain't time for this that you talking about. Alex Caruso is cool. He ain't no Tyler Hero. And I don't even want to make Tyler Hero sound like he's the next coming or anything, but he's way better than Austin Reeves. Let's be very clear about that.
Man, I put them all in the same bucket.
You about to drown.
You know what I'm saying? But speaking of the Lakers, though, they do need to add some more pieces, a bench around them because playing LeBron and Luka 40 minutes a night, that's not going to get it. And Luka has to get in condition and learn how to play some defense. If not, it's going to be over with. And his tenure with the Lakers will be the worst superstar tenure for any Laker ever because he will be the only one that hasn't delivered a championship. It doesn't matter who's played for the Lakers, whether it was goddamn Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Dwight Howard, Anthony Davis. They've all won a championship for the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? The purple and gold championship or nothing. And Luka has to deliver that in order to solidify himself as one of the greats in the NBA and within the Laker franchise.
Speaking of championships, though, so what do you kind of think previewing this conference finals in general? We know you big Knicks, so we'll get to the Knicks in a second. But what do you think are the Pacers' chances or kind of...
None, nigga. They don't have a chance. The only reason why they beat the Knicks last year because the Knicks were dealing with some serious injuries. OG was out. Mitchell Robinson was out. Josh Hart was hurt. So, you know what I'm saying? So, the Julius Randle was hurt.
Niggas got to stop with Josh Hart, though. That is just high effort. Stop saying Josh Hart.
What you mean?
Like
He's a dog. Josh Hart is a dog. He wears
every
number 3.
team needs a Josh Hart, but niggas be talking about Josh Hart like he's the next coming of something.
Yo, your man could put up 25 points if need. He could put up 10 points. He may put up 10 rebounds. He may put up 10 assists. Your man is a dog. He gets out there. He battles. He be in the paint like he's a forward, and this nigga's a guard, and this plays defense, and he can knock down an open shot. That's all you can ask for him in his role. And I think he does. He plays his role the best that he could possibly play it.
I'll give Josh Hart his flowers a little bit, because I had no idea that he was that good of a rebounder until last year.
Yeah, man, my man gets down in the paint. He bodied in the paint.
The niggas out there getting 11, 12 boards a game.
Yeah,
that shit was crazy, and it was like the real deal. Like, he's really high effort with it. So that shit was crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I think, to me, the biggest thing with the Pacers is probably just gonna be, I mean, obviously, but shot making. Because to me, when you look at their team, bro, and I think this is what makes them more unique than any other team right now that's left in the playoffs. They don't need Halliburton to go get 20, 30 for them to win a game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They might not necessarily even need Siakam to go get 25, 30 for them to win the game. They have probably the most complete team in the league, to me, when you just look from top to bottom, because they're going to not only go all through their starters, but they're comfortable with going through a rotation. So, again, to my point earlier, bro, and why I didn't see the Knicks be in there, Tibbs is going to be, I mean, even when we were looking at the last game, when they was closing it out, bro, you're looking at them up 30 points, and the starters are still in the game. What's wrong with this? He's tripping. So I look at that, bro, and then I look at the pace that the Pacers play at.
They running,
and it don't seem like it matches well, bro. If Tibbs isn't going to be comfortable using his bench and really, trying to mix things up and really match wits with Rick Carlisle, they're gonna get smoked, bro. If it goes the same way, in my opinion, you're looking at a series that's probably gonna be Pacers in 6.
Nah, hell no.
If it goes the same way,
hell no. It's Knicks. It'll be Knicks in 7. I just feel like we're better talent wise, and we're deeper than we were last year. Last year we didn't have Cat. We only had Isaiah Hartenstein.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This year we got Cat Williams. This year we got OG Anunoby back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're more deep. We got Mikal Bridges on the wing that plays defense. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like from top to bottom, I feel like we're more complete than a lot of the other teams that are left in the playoffs. And to speak to the playing time of the players, I feel like Tibbs' rotation, he's gotten a little bit smarter with it now, because now you have players like Deuce McBride that's playing more.
He's been splashing shit lately. I'm not gonna lie. He's been splashing shit, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? OG been hitting shots. Mikal Bridges been hitting shots. You know what I'm saying? Mitchell Robinson has been coming off the bench, giving us good minutes. So I feel like, with the rotation that we got, the 8-person rotation that we have, I feel like we're very solid offensively and defensively enough to where, you know what I'm saying, Brunson gonna do what the he does. Brunson, to me, he's been the best player in the playoffs.
Shot chucking and shit.
Hands down.
He is clutch.
Brunson is the best player in the NBA playoffs right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So along with him, and if Cat could get us what he can give us, 20 and 10 a night, there's gonna be no competition.
My only issue is Brunson be on the floor more than the mop, bro. That is looking for a foul every time.
He's 6 foot, 150 pounds.
He's looking for a foul every time he go up, and this is
because they be fouling him, nigga.
Here's what kills me with this new generation, though, bro, and Brunson is a big part of this. These new don't even be looking they don't be looking to get a bucket. They're looking for the whistle. Yeah. I can't stand that.
Yeah.
Go up and actually try to score. Like, now you're just trying to play into the refs, kind of play calling or however they've been officiating the game thus far, and you just trying to make sure that you get the whistle at any chance. I can't stand watching the Knicks sometimes, bro, when I'm just watching Jalen Brunson just fall over for a quarter and a half. That shit is not good basketball.
Nah, and not even to sound biased, but like, they don't be getting no calls. Like, if you look at the box scores, the free throw disparity between teams be wild as shit. Cat gets hacked every time this is down on the block, under the basket. This getting hacked.
Bro, Jalen Brunson is at the line like 5 to 7 times per commercial break. Stop.
No, you're wild. And the Knicks, Brunson didn't even take a free throw until like the second half of game 5. And I'm like, yo, like,
if you're gonna be specific on the game, that's fine.
No calls.
If you're gonna be specific on the game, that's fine. But I'm talking about as a whole, that is getting to the line. That's a fact.
He may go to the line maybe like 5 times a game, 4 times. And that's not a lot compared to other superstars in the league. Ant-Man is getting 12 free throws a game. You know what I'm saying? All he's getting
because he's actually trying to go get them. it though. He's actually trying to go
So
up
is
and do
Brunson.
something.
So is Brunson.
Bro,
Brunson's
stop.
driving.
You're not watching Brunson and thinking that he's
Okay.
actually trying to go up. Now, I'll tell you this. I feel like it's like a half and half thing. So for every other time he's trying to go up, I do think he's trying to get a bucket. But
With the heli, with the Halliburton, with the I don't give a damn Nixon 6. How about
we're
that?
gonna see. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. So it's coming up here in a couple of days. So we're gonna keep previewing this shit as the games keep going on.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
speaking
For sure.
of that, I do want to switch over here
Mhm.
and start talking about some shit because we did the sports shit. We not Sports Center. I need to talk about hip hop. I'm a child of hip hop. I love music. Let's get to this shit. Because I've been listening, bro, to these new projects recently that have actually been moving me.
Well, you got to put me on. You got to get me hip to some of
I
this
do.
new
Listen,
shit.
I got you. It's been, first off, shout out, man. Vic Griselda, you know what I'm saying? Boom, 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 all that type of shit. I've been listening to West Side Gun like a fool.
Okay.
You ever listen to him at all?
I like Gunn. I like Conway. Benny's
come
my
on
boy.
now.
Benny my
Yeah.
dog. Even though
Okay.
he Bill's Mafia. Yeah, with that. But besides that,
Yeah.
Benny my dog, man.
For sure. Yeah, so he's been putting on crazy pressure to me. From the R&B tip, I've been listening to that Sailor album recently. Have you? I don't know if you ever heard her. She dropped a joint recently. I wasn't really hip to her maybe like 2-3 weeks ago, and I started seeing her get. That's another thing to me. Now, I'm not as knowledgeable about her prior, but I feel like I could have taken the same approach, or maybe I'm in a similar group as the people who be kind of doing the Doechii. Because to me, I've never heard of this chick before. However, I saw her getting crazy traction on Twitter. I saw people talking about her, reposting her, doing so on and so forth. And then it happened to align with when her project was coming out. And since I've listened to her project, I now understand why she is where she is, or why she at least is starting to be on the rise. She got some dope records, bro.
Like,
Now, the album as a whole to me is good. But Down Bad into the what's the joint called? Pookie's Requiem? Oh my God.
so what is the vibe? Like, what's the vibe of her? Because you got to get me hip because I don't know none of
Bro,
this shit.
first off, when I first listened to her, I thought she was black. No,
Oh, she's
like
not
when I
black.
was no, she's Asian.
Okay.
So when I was in the car, so I'm in the car just playing the album, and her cover art is kind of like it's taking inspiration from a book called Animorphs that came out in like the 90s or whatever. It was kind of like a science fiction joint. And so when I'm looking at the cover art, I thought she just ripped it directly from that. I didn't realize that that was her in the image, that she was playing into that theme. So when I ended up listening to the music, I'm going through, and then I think I went on her Instagram, bro, like halfway through me getting to the album, because I'm like, damn, this is hard. Like, what is it? You know, I'm just trying to kind of get an idea. I'm like, what does she look like? And I look, and she's an Asian chick, bro. Grilled out whole shit. She's from Florida.
You know, I think I did see that.
She's hard.
I think I did see
She's
a
hard,
video
bro.
or two on her, and I was like,
Yeah.
who the hell is this Asian girl?
Yeah, nah, bro, for real. Like, so I think I've seen her, you know, like I said, getting traction, and people have really been liking what she's been doing. Her album is hard. Shout out to Sailor. I'm drawing a blank on the name of the album, but if you can find it's the most recent one she dropped. That joint is super hard. Down Bad, Pookie's Requiem. That Pookie's Requiem is that one. Down Bad is a slap too. I was listening to that joint, and I really wish that she would have got T-Pain on it. I don't know if that was something that she could have had access to. But, you know,
T-Pain ain't hard to get to.
I'm just saying,
Get the
if you listening to this and you hear this, Sailor, holla at T-Pain. You know what I'm saying? We would like to hear the remix. So, yeah, for sure. No, her is dope. And then another dude I've been listening to, and I've been listening to him for like the last year or two, Destin Conrad. So he used to write for Kehlani.
Okay.
And I started listening to him and this girl named Ombre, and they have their own careers or whatever. But Destin Conrad's been dropping music crazy for the last couple of years. And so his first EP that he dropped, I was really into. Some of the more recent projects, I think he had an album that kind of dropped in between that was a little bit more up-tempo, maybe than I was anticipating. And so this last one he just dropped called Love in Digital, crazy. Stop.
Dope.
That is crazy. He got some joints on there too. That Kissing in Public is a slap. That's one of those joints for sure. So check that out too, for real.
Nah, I mean, on the R&B tip, as far as what I've been listening to, there's a young chick out of DC by the name of Alex Vaughn, and she signed to LVRN, actually. She put out a project called the Hurt Book, and she has a version of it. It's called the Homegirl Pack, and like she has records with like Summer Walker on there. She got Money Long on there, and she has someone else I forgot, but it's super dope. She has a song called So Be It. Super dope. I advise anybody to go out there, check out my homegirl Alex Vaughn. She's from the DMV,
For sure.
PG County. You know what I'm saying? And she's killing it. Signed to LVRN. And also, I mean, I'm looking forward to getting back to the streets, man. I'm from the
Yeah.
streets. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
all the R&B shit, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
But like, nigga, I wanna get back to, you know what I'm
Being
saying, real
outside.
rap,
Yeah.
real street,
Yeah.
getting money.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I've been listening to like Icewear Vezo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My boy Boss Man D-Lo, Big X the Plug. You know
I
what I'm
meant
saying?
to ask you, did you hear the most recent single with Boss Man D-Lo and Gucci?
Yes.
Did you like it?
It was cool.
Yeah.
I thought it could have been better.
Yeah.
I thought it could have been better. It's cool. It wasn't like, it ain't like, you know what I'm saying, a major hit, major banger. But it's a cool record.
I was listening to that too, bro. I felt like he got a lot of inspiration from Gucci.
Gucci.
Yeah, when I was
For sure.
yeah, when I was listening to the record, I was like, it. And I hate sometimes when artists do that. Like I like what Boss Man D-Lo's doing, but I do hate sometimes when artists get in that space where they have a feature on the record and you can kind of tell who the feature is based on how they come out the gate. You know what I'm saying? Like had I not even known Gucci was on there, I probably would have been listening to that whole joint like, damn, you do kind of sound like Gucci like the whole time. So that was throwing me off. So I didn't love, to your point, I didn't love that either. And I think, to my knowledge, this is the first single off of, I think, whatever's going to either be a mixtape or an album. So, you know, I kind of like artists to start on a hotter note and make something that, you know, is undeniable. But he's created enough, you know, equity and cachet within the culture for people, I feel like, to kind of, to your point, say like, oh yeah, no, that was a cool record, and then wait to see if he has anything else that comes out that really gets some traction.
No, I'm really waiting for my boy Icewear Vezo though, Iced Up Records. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My dog, you know what I'm saying? He got a record out with Warren G. He went back and got Warren G. And he actually came to Atlanta and shot the video.
For real?
Here in Atlanta with Warren G. You know, they flipped the regulator joint.
He Vezo from the D, right?
Yeah, Vezo's from Detroit.
for
you know
sure.
what I'm saying? But he's you know, he has a deal with quality control with QC.
Oh, word?
Yeah, so so you know, he's in Atlanta, he's in the A lot, and he shot the video here. It's super dope. If y'all haven't gotten a chance, go ahead and check out my boy Icewear Vezo.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to his project. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like he has a pulse of what's going on in the streets. You know what I'm saying? And he puts it in a way that is still kind of like, you know, positive. You know what I'm saying? Because like you hear some street music and it's all like, oh, slide on the ops, kill this. You know what I'm saying? They'd be like, all right. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know what I'm saying? Where's the that's gonna motivate us to get some money?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna motivate us to do better for our hood, to do better for our community? And I think Icewear is definitely taking that flag and he's running with it.
Yeah. Nah, I gotta check his out more. I haven't listened to a bunch of Icewear Vezo, but I haven't tapped into D a little bit. There was this dude, GTF, I believe his name, or it's a dude who got a record with Sean coming out the D that goes crazy. I gotta look that up later, but shout out to Vezo. Speaking of being in the streets, though, I remember what I did want to talk about was the SZA and Kendrick concert, which I went to not too long ago. So I'm big into concerts, bro. Like my first ever concert that I saw was Watch the Throne.
Okay.
My first ever.
First ever?
First concert I've ever been to.
Damn, y'all young killing me, dog.
But here's the thing, though, and it was crazy because my mom was the one who low-key even forced me to go, bro. Like I forgot what I was on around that time, but it was like 11th grade or something, and for whatever reason, because I had never been to a concert, I just didn't understand the value in being outside and going to really experience the energy of a concert. So for me, I was kind of like, my mom kept telling me, she's like, oh, I'll get you these tickets for your birthday, da-da-da-da. And I was kind of telling her like, I'm not really, you know, in the mood to go do that. Like, I'd rather go do whatever, Andretti, so on and so forth. You know, whatever was popping in that mid-2000s or so. And so she kept telling me, she was like, you're going to regret this if you don't end up going. And lo and behold, I was like, you know, fine, just get the tickets. Like, let's just get them and we'll go. And so I ended up going with one of my homeboys, and that was still to this day. I probably have been to like 60 concerts, bro. That's one of the best concerts I've ever been to.
No, absolutely, for sure. Jay-Z, Kanye West. I mean, at that time, they were like peaking.
Stupid.
You know what I'm saying?
Stupid.
And
you'll never get them again.
Never get it again.
That's the craziest thing is when people always say that term, like, oh, you don't know what you have until it's gone. That really turns out to be true because times like that, bro, I'm just sitting there at, you know, 15, 16, and it's not registering to me what I'm really looking at. Like, it's Jay-Z and Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just so into the moment versus years later and down the road now and looking at not only like where music is now, but their caliber of artists at that time. It's like, damn, they were like, I really got a chance to see them. Like, one of the moments that stick out to me the most, bro, I'll never forget. Them had dimmed every light in the stadium and put just one spotlight in the center stage, and they both sat like how me and you are. They just sat next to each other on the end of the stage and just started rapping their verses to New Day, just talking about like, you know, oh, you know, when I had, you know, Kanye was doing the whole talking about, you know, before he has kids and all that kind of stuff like that. So it's just crazy to look. Sidetrack. Anyways, the Kendrick and SZA tour was crazy. Okay. Getting down, let me tell y'all first. Getting to a concert in Atlanta, it's ridiculous. Because you're either going to State Farm or Mercedes-Benz for a major artist.
Right.
And both of those venues are right next to each other.
Right.
And for me, coming off of 400, bro, it's going to be one exit to get there.
William Street.
Yeah, it's one exit to get there. And so everybody is trying to get there at the same time. So me even trying to get off the damn exit takes 30 minutes within itself. Then you got to ride around and try to find parking. And then when I get parking, you know how it is, bro. Just walking around, kids look like, 11, 12 years old with just a red vest, a generic red vest on, talking about there's parking right here. And so you low-key
Come
just
back, your shit ain't gonna be there, nigga.
On God. So that's exactly what ended up happening, bro. I just paid somebody. And so I go around the corner. Okay. I walk up to the venue. When I'm walking up, Mustard is finishing his set. So I think he was finishing playing some Roddy Ricch records. And then it was a quick turnaround because my homeboy had never been to a concert before, and me and him ended up going. And I was letting him know, like, it'll probably be a pretty quick transition between the 15 minutes that you get, you know what I'm saying, with Mustard going off, and then pretty much going straight into Kendrick and SZA's set. So that's what it turned out to be, bro. Mustard got off, lights on for maybe 10, 15 minutes, and then it's straight to Kendrick jumping out the GNX with the, yesterday somebody whacked out my girl. Ow! Like, yeah, nigga! So that shit was dope, bro. Like, it was hard. I thought they did a good job mixing up. They did a great job of mixing up the set list. So it would start out with, Kendrick's doing his records. And then to end up switching, they're doing like 30 for 30. Okay. So then SZA comes out. She's going to do her joints. And shout out to SZA because, I don't go to a lot of R&B concerts. I need to probably start going to more. But live, bro, she's the real deal. I'm not going to lie. Sure. Now, it wasn't like the craziest thing I ever heard. But she is good vocally for real. And so she came out, she started doing them joints off of Control, Broken Clocks, Garden. She was doing them joints.
Oh, yeah, she gonna
she
was
doing that shit.
All the in there singing, nigga.
Yeah,
all in there singing to the loudest, to the highest levels in the world.
And here's what was crazy was, bro, like the second that, so like they keep doing that. So it would be like Kendrick would do like 5 to 8 records, something like that, go off. They do a similar collab record. SZA would be on. Collab record, Kendrick on, What was crazy was, though, is, so if SZA came back onto stage, let's say like 4 times in the span of the show, the craziest thing to me was probably halfway through there, bro, when she starts singing and she started doing records off of this last one that I hadn't really listened to. Well, not Control, SOS. I liked that album, but it was a little bit too much of a playlist for me, bro. Like, kind of like Chris Brown. Like how Chris Brown now has gotten to this place where, yeah, he'll drop good records, but it's 30 records. Right. You know what I'm saying? It feels like a playlist. So that's kind of how I felt like about SZA. So I wasn't as into her album. However, it sounds real good live. And when I'm sitting down, the women are not, bro. Their phones are fully charged, and they all out there like videoed up, singing every word, the whole 9. So again, while it wasn't for me, like, she does resonate with women for real. And absolutely. So I think that was probably something, to my point about going outside, bro. Like, you got to really see it, to really understand it. And so you see people online like, oh yeah, I love SZA, but they really love SZA. Ride for her, bro.
I love her in that Skims campaign that she did too, nigga. Fuck the concert, nigga. Nigga, just put that shit up. I'll watch that shit for an hour straight.
No cap. She did have a part where she was doing she did Rich Baby Daddy. She was shaking that.
Shaking that ass.
She was shaking that motherfucker.
Oh, for sure.
She was shaking.
Now I'm mad. I'm mad. Now I'm gonna be looking at my team with the screw face. Like,
I'm
y'all
telling
niggas
you,
left me.
like she just looking at that nigga hypnotized. She shaking that motherfucker. I'm just sitting there like, yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, no, this shit going.
So you say that you enjoyed the Kendrick and SZA concert.
Yeah.
Give me your top 5 concert experiences of all the concerts that you've ever been to. Give me top 5.
In no order, bro. Watch the Throne. Travis Scott and Thug when they did the Days Before Rodeo tour. Outkast at Centennial.
They did that shit 3 days.
That was crazy.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
I got a story about that later, but I'm trying to keep it PG for right now. Yeah. So I ain't about to say nothing too crazy, but listen, it's coming. That story will be here. We're at 001 right now. Y'all tune in. But the Outkast show was crazy. Who else? Anderson .Paak. I've seen him before. And he was wild too because while he's R&B and he's in that space, I'm not used to watching people out there, and bro was out there drumming, singing, piano, singing, guitar. Like he was a one-man band damn near, so he was impressive. And I think I'll probably say the On the Run 2 tour.
On the Run 2.
Bro, I'm not big into Beyonce. Like I recognize her stature in the culture, and you know, her records come on, I like her stuff. But I'm obviously not in my car, you know, slapping Beyonce. However, when she went out there and did those records, bro, and I got a chance to see the entire show, because it was really like Beyonce featuring Jay-Z. That's really how they did, bro. And so when I went in there, I was there with my mom, my cousin, and she starts going and she doesn't stop. She's going up there for like an hour and a half, and she's dancing, singing on the left of the stage, on the right of the stage, platform up in the sky. Like she's really the whole production, bro. You know, you understand it listening to the records that she's a big deal, but again, not until you get in the venues and you see it, you like, oh no, this is like a whole thing going on for real.
Nah, you got to be able to connect the dots with that, man. Shout out to Beyonce. Shout out to the whole team at Parkwood.
Straight up.
They put on an amazing show, man.
Yeah.
This is the What More Can You Say podcast.
It's we, brother.
Man, make sure y'all hit us up on. Make sure y'all hit us up on the social at What More Can You Say Pod. You know what I'm saying? My boy Jalen, your boy Radio God Stu. Check me out on IG.
Yes, sir.
At Radio God Stu. You know what I'm saying? This is a platform where we talk to the culture talks back, and we want to know what y'all got to think. So make sure y'all hit us up on the socials.
Yeah, episode 001. Hey, look, man, give yourself a round of applause, man. You know, we did that joint. Yeah, for sure. So y'all tune in, man. What more can we say? You heard?